Okay, what if I told you that the #1 first date idea is actually, secretly, kind of sabotaging your love life? Yeah. Today we're going to tear apart that default let's grab drinks date and find a way, a much better way to build a real connection. Let's dive in.
I mean, come on, you've heard it a million times, you probably said it a million times. For a lot of us, our entire dating life is built around this one question. It's like the universal password for modern dating, right? It's easy, it's low stakes, it just feels comfortable. But here's the thing. What if that easy, comfortable script is the very thing setting us up to fail before we even order our drinks?
Yeah, I'm just going to say it. I'm making a bold claim right here. Grabbing drinks is the single most overrated first date idea, maybe ever. I know. That might sound a little wild, but just hang with me here. Because when you understand why it's so overrated, it could literally change the entire game for how you find your next relationship.
So what's the big deal? What's the actual problem here? Well, it really just boils down to two main things that get all tangled up. First, there's this thing we're going to call foggy chemistry. And second, there's a massive misunderstanding about the whole myth of liquid courage.
Okay, so let's unpack this liquid courage thing, because this is where it gets really interesting. We all just kind of take it for granted, right? You have a drink, you feel more confident. But here's the hidden truth, the part almost no one talks about. Alcohol doesn't give you confidence. It doesn't add anything. All it does is numb the part of your brain that feels fear and social anxiety. It's basically a neurological shortcut, a temporary sedative. It's not a real skill.
And that right there, that quote from Logan Barrett, it just nails the long-term trap, doesn't it? When you start relying on that numbing effect to open up and be real, you're not actually learning how to be vulnerable. You're just teaching your brain that it needs a crutch every single time you want to show up as your authentic self. So what's the end result of leaning on this crutch? Well, that's where we get foggy chemistry. You walk away from the date thinking, wow, the spark was incredible. But hold on, was that a real spark with the person? Or were you just vibing with the buzz from the drinks? That fog makes it almost impossible to make a smart call, to spot potential red flags, or to even know if you genuinely like them.
Okay, so that's the problem. And yeah, it's a big one. But the good news is the solution is actually really empowering. So let's get into the good stuff, the dry dating playbook. This is our practical guide to finding romance without all that far.
All right, part 1 is all about the dates themselves. And listen, this is super important. This is not about depriving yourself of fun. Not at all. It's about a simple mindset shift. Instead of defaulting to another boring night at a bar, think of the first date as a chance to get creative and have an experience you'll actually, remember.
And please do not overthink this. It can be so simple. You could do something kind of adventurous like axe throwing, or maybe a cooking class, or something super chill like walking through a farmer's market or playing mini golf. The whole point is to just pick an activity, something you do together. It takes all that awkward pressure off of trying to force a conversation, and you just end up connecting way more naturally.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. This is the next big hurdle, right? How in the world do I bring this up without it being super awkward? Don't worry, I got you. We're going to look at a couple of super simple scripts that take all the anxiety right out of this conversation.
Here you go. This is a safe, simple, practical line you can literally just steal and use. It's perfect. And here's why it works so well. It's not judging anyone. You're not apologizing for anything. And it frames your choice as a positive thing, something that's actually good for getting to know them. It's just confident, clear, and it keeps the conversation moving.
But what about those tougher conversations? What if someone's a little pushy or you just need to set a clearer boundary? For those moments, there's a really simple framework you can keep in your back pocket.
It's called the SAFE method, and it's a super logical 4-step process. S, you specify your boundary. Just say it clearly. A, you assert yourself with confidence. F, you make sure it's fair so there's mutual respect. And E, you enforce it consistently. It's just a really straightforward strategy for handling those tricky situations with class.
So picture this. You're on the date, your mind is totally clear. So how do you actually figure out if there's real chemistry? Well, without the alcohol blurring everything, without the beer goggles, right? You can finally start paying attention to the really subtle but super powerful clues in someone's body language.
And here are a few of those hidden patterns you can start looking for. Like, are they mirroring you? You pick up your water glass and a second later they do too. That is a massive subconscious sign that you're in sync. Or look at proximity. Are they leaning in, trying to close that space between you? Is their body posture open and facing you? These little nonverbal hints, man, they can tell you more than words ever will.
Okay, but here's a really, really important reality check. These are just clues. They are useful, for sure, but they are absolutely not a replacement for clear communication and consent. Think of body language as a hint, not a confirmation. You always, always have to talk openly to know for sure where you both stand.
And look, having a clear mind isn't just about reading the room better. It also gives you the power to actually lead the conversation. You can totally skip past all that boring small talk and start asking questions that get to the heart of who this person really is.
Just look at the difference here. On one side, you've got the standard stuff, right? Favorite TV show? Yawn. But on the other side, now these are questions with some real juice. Relationship experts actually call this having emotional bite. These are the questions that invite a little vulnerability, they show you what someone actually values, and they get to the core of a person fast. This is how you have a conversation that they'll actually remember. And hey, if asking those deeper questions makes you feel a little nervous, this little piece of advice from the Gottman Institute is like the ultimate cheat code. Just shift your focus. Your goal isn't to be interesting. Your only goal is to be interested. That one little mental flip, it changes absolutely everything.
So, when you put all these pieces together, we're talking the creative dates, the clear communication, asking those deeper questions. What does it all add up to? Well, you don't just have a better date. You literally unlock a dating superpower.
I mean, this quote really just says it all, right? This approach isn't about what you're losing or giving up. It's all about the incredible advantage you're gaining. It's the power of being clear. And if you think about it strategically, the long-term benefits are just massive. You're going to catch those deal breakers and red flags way, way earlier. The connection you build is based on actual trust, not just some temporary feeling. You find out if you actually like the real person, not the tipsy version. And maybe the best part? You get to show up as you, your real self, right from the very beginning. And this isn't just theory. People who are actually trying this are finding this out for themselves. I love this quote. This person just nails it. When someone vibes with you sober, you know it's the real deal. There's no fake chemistry from a few shots. It's a connection you can actually trust.
So I want to leave you with this one question to think about. If you decided to ditch that cocktail crutch just for a little while and build your next connection on clarity, what could you discover? Not just about the people you're meeting, but maybe even more importantly, what could you discover about yourself?
If this touched your heart, please subscribe, like, and share it with your family. Save this for more meaningful content ahead.